If there was no one else on the face of this earth left but you, how would you feel? Would you be scared? Would you be lonely? Would you be happy? Would you be like, oh, finally, there's a bit of peace in the world, you know? How would you feel? How would you be within yourself? So I want to teach you about the forest. This is a story that I taught my kids when they were younger. And it was at a time when I was separating from their father, so I needed my children to understand certain things about that they could have some tools that they could use, right? So I taught them about the forest, and I said, okay, life is like this. You are you, but you have a forest, right? So this is your space. This is your personal space, right? It's around you. It's like no one else can be in here but you. And you can have anything you want in this space. It's like a circle. Draw a circle around you. That's your space. That's your personal space. It's my forest. And you can have anything you want in that forest. You can have trees and birds and flowers and water and swings and playgrounds and ice cream shops and whatever you like. You can have whatever you like in the forest. But you cannot have another person, right? You can have anything you want, just not any other person can be in your forest. It's just you, right? And I explained to my children that I wanted them to remember one thing. I just really wanted them to remember one thing, that, you know, they can play in their forest, they can be in their forest, it's all good, and the sun's out and it's shining, and they got animals and horses and unicorns and whatever, and fairies and things. But sometimes if they felt a little bit sad or a little bit lonely, and I said, sometimes, you know, it might get a bit dark, the sun might go down, you know, you start to get a little bit cold and a little bit scared, and you start to hear noises and you get a bit worried. I want you to remember one thing. Around the outside of your forest are three people. There's Mummy, there's Daddy, and there's God. Now, I'm not religious. I'm not saying I'm religious of any kind. This is not that kind of story. But God being a metaphor for something bigger than just a human being, something bigger than themselves. Kind of like the universe, I guess, if you want to call it that, or Mother Nature, or Buddha, or whatever. Whatever your faith, that's the concept behind that story. And so I'd say to them, look, you know, I want you to remember there's three people. There's Mummy, there's Daddy, and there's God. Okay, so God will protect, make sure that you're not hurt. And Mummy and Daddy are there, but we've got our own forest to go to. Okay, so I can't be in your forest all the time because I've got my own forest to go to. But I can come in and give you a cuddle. I can come in and I can give you a hug, and I can make you feel better and make it all nice and warm, and we'll bring the sun out together, shall we? So we go in and we close our eyes and pretend that I'm hugging you, or I give them a proper hug, and I'd say, everything's okay. I'm here. You're safe. You're loved. You're cared for. Let's bring the sun out. And suddenly, you know, things become a little bit easier, and they become happier and more relaxed, and they calm down, and the sun comes out, you know, metaphorically in their forest. So what I try to explain to them is that as human beings, because we get lonely, we like to put someone in our forest, right? We like to bring someone, especially if it's our partner, okay? So this is why it's really relevant to relationships, especially our partner. We like to put our partner in there, put them in our forest, want them to behave the way we want our forest to look. So they have to do this, they should do that, they blah, blah, blah. And we lock the gate, right? We lock the fence and we go, you're in here now. That's it. Stay. you know, and they're going, no, I don't want to stay. I've got my own forest to go to. I want to do this. I want to do that, you know. And it's like in a relationship where you go, I want you to come to my parents' place for dinner. And they go, but no, I want to go to my parents' place for dinner. You know, do you know what I mean? I've got my own forest to go to. You've got your forest, I've got my forest. We can be next door to each other and we can visit every now and then, but I can't stay in your forest because your forest has got your stuff in it. My forest has got my stuff in it. You know, I like motorbikes, you like bicycles. You know, we're different. You know, I like this music, you like that music. We're different, you know. So be very aware in your relationships. Have you put someone in that forest and locked the gate? You know, have we put our kids inside our forest and gone, you're not to do drugs, you're not to smoke, you're not to hang out with friends, you're not to listen to that type of music, you're not to go out after dark, whatever conditions we put on another person, we've essentially locked the gate. We've put them in our forest and locked the gate, and that's it, they're not going anywhere, you know. What are they going to do? They're going to get resentful. They're going to kick and scream and bite and fight and cut and burn and destroy everything that we have, that we hold dear in our forest. Why? Because they want to get out. They want to go to their forest, right? They need to go to their forest because that's their space. That's their personal space where they can go and go, oh, I've got my own place to be now. I'm within myself and I'm happy and I'm taking time out. Call it that, taking time out for me, you know? But if they're always in your forest under your expectations, they're never going to get that time out, you see. So it's really important for us to understand the forest is our own. We can only ever have us in there. We can't have somebody else in there and stay in there.